Hey, hello everybody, and thank you very much for hopping onto this video. Let's delve into this topic of controlling the thoughts in your mind. So, are you trying hard to control your thoughts, to control your mind? So, let us understand and accept the fact that the duty of the mind is to think. But where you would like that mind to direct its thinking is in your hand, is your choice. So, most times it so happens that by default, usually by default, there are kind of low vibrating thoughts, low emotion thoughts, or let's just call it as negative thoughts. There's no such hard convention to label as something is wrong or something is right or something is good and something is bad. But there are certain thoughts that create low vibratory energy within you, and there are certain thoughts that create high vibrating energy within you. And the thoughts that create low vibrating energy within you do not make you feel so good. Let me give you some examples. They are kind of complaining thoughts, the thoughts of resentment that you've been carrying against certain people or certain situations, certain experiences, or thoughts around guilt, thoughts around blame, thoughts around shame, like shaming, maybe self-shaming that you do, or a lot of guilt that you put, even the self-guilt that you put onto yourself, right? So the thoughts that that generate low vibratory emotions do not make you feel so good. The thoughts that generate higher vibrating emotions, that is kind of acceptance, gratitude, love, right? Joy, peace. These are the emotions that are the thoughts that generate higher vibratory emotions are something that make you feel good. So there's no hard and fast rule that you should not be having negative thoughts. You should not be something, something bad, that is something wrong. So if that is how your mind has been tuned into, then you are in the process of, you are in the trials of stopping your mind from getting those negative thoughts, from generating those negative thoughts. But now is the time to accept, now is the moment to accept that yes, the duty of my mind is to think. I cannot stop my mind from thinking. But once you watch your thought, once you become aware of what is a thought that enters you, that is that is going on in your mind, that is when you are detaching yourself from that thought. You are not associating yourself with that thought, you are detaching yourself from the thought, and just for a moment, for a split second, you are in a no thought time, a no thought moment. Let's call it as a no thought moment. So, and that happens when, let me explain it. Okay, so basically when you are going with the negative thoughts, again, when you are going with the thoughts that generate low vibratory feelings and emotions, it so happens that the painful thoughts love to feed on painful thoughts. The painful The painful past that you've had loves to feed on painful thoughts. The painful experiences that you have had love to feed on the painful input, the painful feed that you are sending into those experiences. So, again, let's connect it. Let's connect it to what happens practically. So, something happened 5 years back, something happened 5 months back, something happened 5 days back, and you are kind of ruminating on that. And what happens? You tend to generate a conversation, again, usually a negative conversation, as if you are defending yourself about that situation that has happened a little 5 months back, 5 days back, or 5 years back. And then again, you are generating an imaginary response from that situation or from that person, whoever was involved in that whatever has happened in the past, right? So in this present moment, you are carrying a past hurt, and in this present moment, you are spending your time and energy to feed in that past hurt through a negative imaginary conversation that is getting generated in your mind. Because of that, what is happening? The hurt is getting even bigger. The power of this hurt gets bigger. And where does the power of this hurt lies in? I mean, what does a hurt do to you basically? The hurt is simply not allowing you to be in the moment. It is conquering your power. It is taking away your energy, your time. So, in the present moment, as you are feeding in a negative conversation to that hurt, filled with low vibratory thoughts, it has just taken over your time and energy at that moment. And your power to act lies in this moment of now, here and now. How I use my energy right at this moment. My power does not lie in how I would be a minute later, how I would be an hour later. My power does not lie in how I was an hour earlier. Whatever has happened earlier, I can still get back to my full power when I become aware at this moment, right? At this moment. So, what is the hurt, the painful, the past hurt doing to you? Firstly, the past hurt is taking away your time and energy at this moment. The second consequence of it is you have lost your power. You have given your power to that past hurt. So, using your inner power, you are feeding in, you are feeding in, you are feeding in a negative stream of thoughts to that already a negative experience that you have that has happened. That is why you call it a past hurt, right? So again, no experience is actually negative. If you become mindful of what has happened in the past, you will see a beautiful, positive reason for why that has happened, right? We will reach there. We will reach there in the process of learning what happens to us in this lifetime, not just in this lifetime again, what has been happening to us, why it has been happening to us, how we can approach it, and how we can learn from that, how we can keep our inner power to ourselves, how we can make the best utilization of the power that we have at this moment. And that is how you can live your full potential at any moment during your day. A bunch of days put together is a month, a bunch of months put together is a year, a bunch of years put together is your life. So, how you can live up to your full potential in your life boils down to how present you are, how aware you are at this moment, not giving your power to the past hurt, not giving your power to the negative stream of thoughts. Right? So, now that we have understood that you are carrying a past hurt, and by default, I mean, when you are not aware of what's happening in your mind, and when you are not aware of what this past hurt is doing to you, just imagine you just woke up and you're brushing your teeth, you're doing your trivial jobs, you're just cutting vegetables, you're just walking around the hallway to grab a newspaper, you're just going there and you pulled in your mug of coffee, whatever it is that you're doing, your usual chores that you are doing. Constantly there is some stream of thoughts running in your mind. 99% of the time you are not aware of what thought came into your mind. 99% of the time you are not aware of what is a past hurt that generated that thought. This is the root cause of the thought. You don't need to ban your thoughts, you don't need to ban your mind, you don't need to create a negative impression about the mind carrying thoughts. The duty of mind is to think, right? The duty of mind is to process your experiences. In this process of processing your experiences, it generates a stream of thoughts. And when it's generating a stream of thoughts, using a language that a human being understands, whatever your language is, that is how you, as an entity, are able to understand what your mind is thinking and making sense out of it. So, when you are in an unaware state, when you do not know what's going on in your mind, what usually happens is your mind ruminates on the past experiences. And again, without your awareness, you are kind of defending yourself about that experience. You are giving back to that person who was involved in that experience. You are answering back, you are replying back, you are again trying to make that person understand that maybe it's not your fault. You know what? I've always been trying to do something something more for you, but still I kind of receive some kind of complaint from you. Yeah, you are making this conversation in your mind, generating an imaginary conversation with that person. That person is not present here live. The past has already happened, but still you are getting the past once again to your present moment, even without the physical presence of that person, even without that physical manifestation of the past situation in the present. You are generating an imaginary negative or a disturbing conversation in your mind. So what has happened is 60 seconds you spend on that conversation, you are unaware. It goes to 2 minutes, it goes to 5 minutes, it goes to 10 minutes. And unknowingly you see, oh my God, it's already 10 minutes past and I'm still sitting. I've done nothing much here, or I'm feeling low. So you feeling low depends on the kind of thoughts that got generated in your mind, right? It also happens very easily, I should say, when you pick up your phone. So you get involved in the stream of reels that are kind of scrolling on your phone. You keep scrolling them up without awareness of what you are watching, what is it doing to you, what kind of thoughts it is generating, how it is feeding into your past experiences, and what that in turn impacts you, right? You're just scrolling it up, and the time just keeps on increasing. And after 10 minutes you realize, or after 20 minutes you realize, or after 30 minutes you realize, oh my God, it's already been 20 minutes. Oh my God, it's already been half an hour and all my tasks are still in a pending state. All my work is still yet to be done, right? So yeah, coming back to keeping your power with you, using your power in the right way, in the right direction. So when basically pain the painful experience feeds on painful thoughts. So as and when you are feeding in painful thoughts, painful conversations to that painful experience, you are giving your power to that painful experience, and that painful experience is taking over you. Okay, so today you've thought about it a lot. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you've just thought about it, and you've kind of convinced in your imaginary conversation about why you had to do that way. Fine. Are you leaving it there? Tomorrow, once again, that negative conversation comes back. Now, just recollect in your mind maybe something that has happened in your college times, or maybe 10 years back, or maybe 8 years back. How many times have you brought it back to your memory repeatedly? It's not just once, right? It keeps coming back to you because you have not healed it, because you have not healed yourself from that painful past. So now let's again keep that chapter, let's keep that concept to another day or to another video. But let's understand this. Until you heal yourself from your painful past, you continue to feed in that painful past with painful conversations, with painful thoughts, with negative thoughts, with an imaginary negative conversation that you are generating in your mind. So what is it doing to you? It is taking away your power, and it is bulging up. It is bulging up. Your pain body is kind of accumulating, bulging up with more power, with more power, with more power. So tomorrow it's kind of again attacking you with more power. At that moment, you are again generating a negative conversation. You've added your power to that painful past, to that pain body. And day after tomorrow, again, it's kind of again bulged up, right? So again, it attacks you. You are again kind of defending yourself. No, 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 but I don't know. This should not happen. It's none of my mistake. And again, you are trying to defend yourself in that negative conversation, negative imaginary conversation. So every time you are feeding in a negative stream of thoughts, your painful past is bulging up, picking up more power. Essentially, it is from you. You are losing your power at that moment, right? Your power lies in that moment. At this moment, how present you are, how aware you are, is where your power lies in, right? So the duty of mind is to think. Now, when you become aware, now what is it that to become aware? We'll just end with this topic, with this understanding this word. What does it mean that you are aware? So you becoming aware is of various parameters running inside you, around you, outside you. Let's start with. becoming aware of your thought. So again, you have this painful past and you have a negative, imaginary, painful conversation getting started in your mind, and you catch hold of it then and there. How can you catch hold of it? When you are aware at this moment. When I am aware of this at this moment, I am also aware of what thought is kind of about to start in my mind, right? So I am kind of watching it. Okay, so this is what is happening. Okay, and even if you have a defensive answer from your side, again, you are just watching that answer. You are just hearing that answer in your inner, in your inside, in your inner self. You are hearing, you are listening to that answer. So what has happened? You are disassociating yourself from that negative conversation. Here you have created two entities. You are observing the thought, the thinker. The thinker is a person who is trying to feed in the negative past with a negative conversation. But once you detach yourself from the thinker, once you observe the thinker, once you become aware of the thinker, once you keep watching the thinker, you become the observer. And that is your divine consciousness inside, the witness inside. You know, God is sitting inside of you as a witness of all that we do, right? All that happens in the world. So you become the witness, you become the observer of this thinker. And when you become the observer of this thinker, you still hold on to the power that you have inside of you at this moment, because you are aware, because you are not getting dragged into the thinker, because you have not given your time and energy to the thinker, and the thinker has to cease. The thinker has to reduce. The thinker has to calm down. The thinker has to realize that, okay, this person has become aware. This person is not no more feeding in a stream of negative thoughts. This person is no more kind of defending herself or himself. This person no more cares about whatever has happened in the past, and this person really wants to be in the moment. So there's nothing much that I can do. I'll have to just get lower and lower and smaller and smaller day by day. This is not a one-time job, right? So even if you are aware today and you watch your thought and that thought stops, tomorrow again the thought is going to come back, because you have not healed yet yourself from that experience, right? So tomorrow again the thought will come back. So again you become the watcher, you become the observer. Sorry, you become the observer and you are watching that thought. As you are watching that thought, you are, firstly, and very importantly, you are not giving your power to that thought, and that thought becomes powerless. And for a fraction of a moment, your mind will have a no thought state, because your mind generated a negative thought and it's not getting power from you. It is not getting a response from you, because you've become aware of that negative thought. No, I know that this is a negative thought. I don't want to get into that stream, get into that crowd, right? So boom, your mind just got into a no thought state. And no matter how much, like what your mindset is at any point of time, you can try this out. You can try this out at least for once in a day. But the more you try this out and the more frequent you are in that no thought state, the more you are getting associated with the godly consciousness inside of you, right? The godly consciousness, because the more you are becoming the witness of whatever is happening, the more you are becoming the observer. You're not giving your power to the pain body. You're not giving your power to the painful past. You're keeping your power here with you, and you are making the right use of the power that you are gaining. With that, I'd like to conclude this stream of video. Yeah. So I'd like to conclude this video, but with a takeaway that today, whatever the next 24 hours, just imagine the next 24 hours, you are going to try. You are going to try. You are going to sincerely attempt to watch your thought. Yeah. At least once, at least twice, at least a bunch of times, at least 10 times, or maybe 15 times. Just try to watch that thought and catch hold of it. That's all. Once you catch hold of it, you are no more giving your power to that thought, and you will not feel drained of energy. Go back to the time when you have scrolled 20 minutes on Instagram, you are feeling elated, you are enjoying, you are feeling happy. But after that 20 minutes, you are kind of drained of energy. Oh my God, there is still so much of work to do, and I'm already tired, right? So that's not going to happen here. When you are watching your thought, you are keeping your energy with yourself, and you are making the right use of that energy. You are making the right use of that power. So that is what you got to do today. We meet up with another video with another practical thing that you can use in your day-to-day life. And with that, we will be able to go step up ourselves bit by bit by bit, little by little by little. Cheers. Thank you very much for watching this video, and write down your comments of what you've learned from this video. Anything that strikes your mind, please put it down in the comments, and I'll meet you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.